Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I'm back for another review of Love After Lockup, Free My Man, Season 6, Episode 2. If you're watching this, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope y'all's week went well. If it did, I love it. If it didn't, just know it's over. All right, so I'm going to start with Brooklyn and Brian, the new couple, okay? Brooklyn, all right. She says she's loud and, she was the girl in school that was like kind of the life of the party, and she was intrigued by Brian. A lot of these people know each other since high school. Do any of these people move away at all for any amount of time? Anyway, and she said that was basically how she got to know Brian. He was very, very quiet. Now, to me, that means he has some issues. And I know that doesn't seem like I should be able to make a statement like that, but really extremely quiet. In high school, you're the loud girl. He ends up in big trouble. Like, kind of like, what are you doing? And people can be quiet, but people who are quiet go to jail for 6 years, Anyway, and she said, I know I'm loud and I think I'm Beyonce. We all aspire. We all aspire to be our best selves, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's slow-hanging fruit. So anyway, she is a gymnastics/cheer coach, okay, for children. Do the parents know their kids are on camera for a reality show like this? This is not a normal reality show. Reality shows typically are not good places for children. They're not good places for adults, okay? Because we laugh at them, not with them. Nevertheless, CPS, go get these parents, because the bottom line is they had to sign something for their faces not to be blotted out. That would be absolutely unacceptable to me. And for Love After Lockup, considering who she's dating, this man is coming out of jail. Is he going to be around? And I am not saying that people do not deserve second chances in life. I'm just saying that children should not have to be their guinea pigs. How about that? Anyway, if they signed a release for their kids' faces to be shown in this, CPS, go intervene. All right? Anyway, so she was doing the gymnastics and stuff, which was great. I'm not going to lie. She was straight getting it. And this is another one of those good moments where people, I hope you will realize that just because somebody is skinny does not make them athletic. Or healthy for that matter. And just because there are people who are built to be larger, but still very athletic, like she is clearly. And I say that because this heavy emphasis on losing weight, and the next thing you know, somebody who's supposed to be built, with extra weight on them, and there's nothing wrong with people trying to get healthy. But if your head looks big on your body, that means to me you lost too much weight. When it doesn't look right, not from like those diet drugs, but just because you've stopped eating and it doesn't work for you. All right. Anyway, so Brian, and is it just me, or did Brian and her brother look a lot alike around the eyes? Anyway, so Brian, her brother, is the one trying to hold her accountable. When she told us that she had known him since high school, but when her brother asked, what did he go to jail for? I knew before she said, I said robbery. I guarantee you. He's quiet like that. I mean, what would he, all these things I am inferring from a man I know nothing about. Hardly. Anyway, Brian said, okay, so y'all been dating for 6 years? And he was telling the whole table, like, I only found out about this 3 months ago. Her friend is like, well, I knew the whole time, and he is just not buying it. And her friend maybe her friend does silly shit like this too. But she was like, I didn't want to tell my brother because he's really protective. Because when we were kids, our mother died of a brain aneurysm. And I was like, oh my and something apparently went wrong in the process of trying to save her, to where they won a lawsuit against the hospital for a wrongful death. And yeah, that would give any brother a reason to be protected. And losing your mother at an early age, that's very hard. It's very hard, especially when it feels like something that didn't have to happen. You know, a wrongful death, a car accident. You know, that's it's never easy to lose a mother at any point, but I'm just, you know. The brother starts asking all the questions that anybody who gives a damn about you should ask. So he was like, where's he going to live? With you? She was like, no, I know he's going to provide. I know he's going to come out and make big money and take care of me and the kids. I said, let me tell you something. Her brother is officially my favorite on this show until further notice. Okay, girl, how? Why do people have all of these castles in the sky? And they're sand castles. All right, they can just go down just like that. Like, I don't understand. You had to watch this show in order to even apply for it. Okay, we've seen this movie before. All right, and if we haven't, we have certainly seen the train wreck that is eventually coming. It's like a rom-com. We know how it's going to end, even though we enjoy watching the story. Anyway, so the brother is like, how is he going to take care of you emotionally? I said, let me tell you something. Something about the margaritas they were drinking looked good. And if I would have been having a margarita like that, I'm going to tell you right now, we would have been friends no more when I got up at the table because I would have been laughing at her so hard. She would have been so mad at me. He said, because that's all he can do is be there for you emotionally. And even then, after getting back out of jail, like, why do y'all act like these people have not had freedom? Freedom to shit, freedom to eat, freedom to walk, freedom to talk, freedom to check the weather. Like, all the things. Like, y'all expect them to do this. I think that's so against human nature anyway. And I'm not trying to let these liars off the hook, but at the same time, they're in jail all day, coming up with stories, talking to people. That's something to get them through. That's why people look at our jail system and go, yeah, there's something very inhumane and non-correctional about it. All right. Anyway. So BK gets mad at her brother for asking her the right questions that she knows she can't answer, and then goes outside for a jail call at the restaurant. She said since they've been together they've been 100% faithful. I said, girl, who is he gonna cheat on you with if it's a woman? Well, then again, I don't know. We've seen people that get down in the prison with the guards and stuff like that. Anyway, but he's told her, he's honest. He told her about girls he's talking to. And I was just like, okay. I don't know why women do that. I remember being young and being dumb enough to listen to that. Like, you know, college. Like, young. But also being offended. Like, you are telling me about other women you're talking to, and I'm supposed to feel special because you're telling me the truth at the least. Telling me the truth about fuck shit and mean shit you're doing to entertain yourself behind my back while I make sacrifices for you is some bullshit. And I don't know why we justify men's disgusting behavior that way or say as long as I'm honest. There comes a point where just being honest is just being an asshole. And being outright disrespectful is not anything you get awarded for. Like, I just hate that people feel like they have to take that emotional pain and then it's going to all turn out good. It won't. So she explains to her brother that she basically, I guess, after hearing him on the phone, and he's like, well, we talked about that. They know, you know me, they don't know me or whatever. I was like, you've known him since high school. Your brother don't know who this is, really? Anyway, and he was just a little too huffy for me over the phone. Okay, you know, quiet men can be a bit much. Anyway, so she explains to her brother that she's tired of hearing all these opinions. Her brother said, well, honestly, listen. Listen to the opinions. I was like, got him. Because the thing is, you wouldn't keep hearing them if you change your behavior and listen. Okay, because we know this is going to go bad, and we know her brother is going to be the one that has to be there for her. All right. Savannah and Bradley, I told y'all I don't care. Savannah, I don't know, for some reason I'm paying attention to it, I guess. Savannah is 27. She looks 40. Okay? He talks about, Bradley with no E, was talking about his EBT card and Medicaid. about how he has to get all of that stuff together. I said, who's Savannah vote for? Because you know it ain't gonna be nothing for you, right? Who did Savannah vote for? You know she voted for Trump. Anyway, if she voted. All right, so because I can definitely see her wearing a MAGA hat. Joey and Michael is another one. I don't care. I feel like this is his life, Joey and Michael's life. I feel like I'm watching a poorly produced Lifetime movie that is just filled with crash outs and sad endings. All right? They don't need to be together anyway. They trigger each other. Joey is incredibly sensitive. And that's not like a read, but he's sensitive. Like, there's a lot of things he can't take. And if they were two healed people who had demonstrated they had been sober, for X amount of years and happen to understand each other, it'd be different. But time is necessary for those kinds of things. Anyway, the fact that Michael is not afraid to go back to prison and says he's comfortable in prison, we know how this thing ends. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the idea of people controlling him from himself and being able to engage in drugs. Or maybe it's that he likes having all the men around. But somebody who likes to be in jail, it's one thing to make your peace in the meantime just because you need to get through. But to say you like being in jail instead of I never want to go back, Joey, we see through it. All right. So Mike got out, all right, and changed his clothes outside the car. Apparently he wanted to go back really quickly for indecent exposure. Anyway, I mean, I know he was in his drawers, but still, Anyway, right outside the jail. Anyway, I'm tired of hearing about Joey's anxiety about their sex life, because the only time we had sex was like when we were high or whatever, and I'm just like, Joey, you're afraid of your sexual chemistry because you're afraid Michael will cheat on you. Okay? And that has been your anxiety for a minute, which means he's not the one for you. And it also means this is already an unhealthy relationship. Okay? So, Mike said he struggled with being gay early on. Because last week I said it seems Michael is very comfortable with it. But I didn't know the side because we hadn't gotten the side. Or at least I hadn't heard it before. He said he struggled with being gay and he would pray for God to just make him straight. And I believe it. There are so many gay people that have said that they, as kids, recognized something was different about them. But if you grow up in a religious home, I don't care what your religion is, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, especially any of the Abrahamic religions, you were taught to feel, by and large, there's a lot of churches that don't, but by and large to feel heavily guilty for things like that. And you pray to God, he doesn't change you. And I can only imagine. And too many gay people have told that same story. So I just want to put that out there. So anyway, Michael, while Joey is building, castles in the sky, he is telling the producers how he is looking for the first opportunity to get high. I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but I'm just like, Joey, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. Okay. Let's do Alexis, Ashley, and Julius, okay? So Ashley is playing around with some dinosaur mask in a party city or a dollar store, I'm not sure. Is it just me, or does Ashley look like a different fucking person every time we see her? Girl, if you cheat on anybody, I bet you they have never found out. Because they wouldn't know it was you. You could go out in public and everything. I would not recognize you. Anyway, her friends, I'd be your friend and be like, girl, you look so different. Girl, you look so different. Girl, you look so different. Anyway, so her friends are telling her to wait for a ring before she has a baby and stuff because she's, trying to get with Julius. And I was like, first of all, there's several things with this. I know you don't think you're going to marry a 25-year-old who just got out of jail. I know you have more sense than that. And the fact that you don't, and the fact that your friends at this point even think marriage is a good idea for you, not a good idea for you, but entertaining it enough to say, no, wait till you get a ring. Where is he going to get the money for this ring? Like, what is going on with these people? Anyway, who would want to marry him? I mean, for real. Or expect anything of him. Like, miss me. So they interviewed her friends. Her friends kept it real. Actually, I'm going to go off. You know, a lot of times we see people smirk and kind of laugh. No. Her friends were real friends. They told her the same thing to her face that they said to their producers. They were like, the black girl was like, I didn't like him from the gate. She tatted his name on her. They had both agreed to get tattoos. He never tatted hers. And now that's like permanent. I was like, yeah, unless you got the money to get it removed. Then the white friend was like, I feel like he's just a typical man in jail. That's all they do is lie, da-da-da-da. And I was like, whether she got friends, whether she's been in this situation, or she just watched the show, she knows. Okay? Anyway, he lied and said his mom was going to pick him up. Meanwhile, Ashley is picking him up. Ashley, baby girl, you seem to be a very nice person at heart. You really do. You seem like a good person who makes bad judgment calls by having the speaker on when you're with a client to talk to your boyfriend in jail. But nevertheless, you seem like a really nice girl. And I question the character of his sister. She can't be your best friend. She may be your best friend. But she's not the best friend to you. You got it? All right. Because to hook you, she knows her brother. And I just feel like you're getting played in the worst way. Because I don't feel like you deserve it. Somebody like Ashley will find somebody like that in a minute, because that's just kind of chick she is. But I feel like you invest, and that's why I kind of feel bad for you. And I felt bad for you ahead of time, but now I know I was definitely right. So anyway, Ashley's picking him up from jail. Alexis, why are you spending money on your first night together? Not Alex. Is that Alexis? Yeah. Oh, Alexis. Mind you, back at the party, because I didn't mention this. Not the Party City or whatever it was. Alexis, why are you spending money on their first night, y'all's first night together? He hasn't even confirmed if y'all will spend time together. You told us that yourself. That he's not sure, and all it is. Keep your money in your pocket. Give that stuff to the kids. Anyway, so we get Ashley. She's standing outside the correctional facility waiting. Tyler, his brother-in-law, comes up, and she's like, oh, hey. She was like, I didn't know Tyler was coming. She said, but I'm trying not to have an attitude or whatever, because she thought it was just going to be them. And I presume if his mother didn't go to pick him up, red flag number one. Your baby went to jail at 18. You don't go to pick him up from jail? I told you that Cincinnati stuff is something else. Anyway, she thought it was going to be them both. Girl, he's a liar. He's a liar. And he probably knows he's been lying to so many women that he better have had his brothers-in-law and his homies come to get him, just in case y'all got mad and didn't show up. Okay? Okay. So anyway, he came out. He looked good. He looked good, especially with those dreads. They look fresh straight out of jail. I got to give it to him. All right, because we cannot say the same for DeMondrick. Anyway, she says she loves him and she is happy. She has a man who put the work in and takes charge, and a real man. I said, girl, bye. People was just telling him when he can go to the bathroom, how long he can play outside. What are you talking about? Take charge how? How? Brian needs to be everybody's friend. They need to bring Brian as just like a friend to the entire show, even if he don't know none of these people, because he's who they need to talk to. Brian, Brooklyn's brother, because he would have got you together on this. All right. She was like, I looked at him. I said, nothing about him looks faithful. Now we can say all men cheat, but there are some that when you look at them, you go, no, thank you. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how much money you got in your pocket. I see through you. Anyway. So he came over to the car and he goes, where's my phone at? I said, your phone that she bought you out of a box that's brand new? You got your nerve. Where's my phone? Not thank you. Not, oh my gosh, I really appreciate this. I'm going to pay you back. Girl, what kind of man? Anyway, so he chose to ride with his friends. They were going to get breakfast. He chose to ride with his friends and his girlfriend came to pick him up. in her face. First of all, his friend already has a homeboy. So even just to even it out, you should have gotten your ass in the car with her. No, you want to talk to them about all the fuck shit you've been doing. And this is what I want y'all to say around her. He tells us in a confessional that, Alexis has good energy. She's good for me. And they asked him about Ashley. And it was like he forgot. And said, Ashley, well, she'll be my first call. She'll be his first call with the phone that Alexis bought him. That's some trifling shit. No, and I refuse. I don't care how much people put this in our face on social media reality shows. I am not going to treat it like it's normal. It's not. It's sick to mistreat people like this. Anyway, I can't. All right. Then we get JK and Brooke. This is really some poor white trash stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So Brooke shows up to the hotel. She says her and his mom are gonna ride together to pick him up from jail. Fine. All right. They got a room, and the mom is sitting there. She said, well, they wouldn't let me check in because the room isn't under my name. I was like, oh, okay. So Brooke paid for it. I'm not sure if she offered or if the mom just never offered but still wanted to be a part of it. If you really like this person, I guess you got to deal with a sorry family. So I'm sure that when Brooke booked this, she booked it at a certain price. And she asked them, she was like, it's not a double. And they were like, no. And maybe she didn't want to pay anymore because I figured she was like, I ain't got it. All right, so we're going to be cuddling tonight. But his mom should have had her own room. And by that, I don't mean Brooke should have paid for it. You should have gotten your own room. You should have paid for another one. That hotel did not look booked. And quite frankly, for you to have the kind of attitude that you had, and I'm not saying people who are like sisters or, cousins, and y'all get into a rut that night, and you're like, look, we just need someplace to stay. There's a couch in there. You know how we do. But she don't know this woman. It'd be a no for me. It'd be a no for me. I can go get him by myself so you can go back home and be comfortable. Anyway, so the mom was like, do you really want to marry him? And she said yes. Then his mom was like, he doesn't need to be tied down right now with somebody telling him what to do, where to go, this, that, and the other. Now, the basic part of that, I do agree with. Because we all know that does not work. People who have lived in jail. And then Brooke said, well, maybe that's exactly what he needs. So there's two things happening here. Now, Brooke's plan is to control him the way, what was the other white girl and the guy that got out of jail in North Carolina where they were looking for a house, paying less of a mortgage than most of us pay rent. I forget her name. Who stole her cousin's man, who slept with her cousin's boyfriend when they were in high school and told us about it. Okay. Anyway. So, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, and Brooke was like, well, maybe that's exactly what he needs. And there are two things going on I'm trying to figure out here. Is it the mother that's jealous and saying, he doesn't need a woman in his life? Which I do think is part of it. But the other part is maybe had his mother been one of those, you need to be home, you need to finish your homework, these are the expectations around this house, this is what happens, maybe he wouldn't have gotten in trouble. Everybody has a story. She is not the one that did whatever he did to get into jail, but I'm saying she kind of had a point when I started thinking about it. So she asked his mom, just outright, was he a whore? I was like, some people really don't know how to talk to their elders. And I'm not even saying that this woman is the nicest person on the planet, because we clearly know she's not. But that's not the way to do it. She was like, he never had a problem getting a girlfriend. I was like, that's white girls too. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of them. They're the majority in the country. I don't know. And that he's had more girlfriends in prison than he's ever had before. I said, damn, way to blow up the spot. So his mom is part of the problem. It doesn't seem like she corrected him when he was young, as a young man. She did not correct him when he was so open about cheating and having relationships with these different women he was with. And if he was living at home to the point where y'all are sharing the phone, that's a problem. Because, yeah, do what you want to do. I think actually telling your mom about all the people you're messing with and the games you're playing is a form of disrespect. Because that means you have no boundaries, even for your mother. There are things that we have all done that I would hope you made every effort to hide from your parents. Okay? Just on the strength of that. But she doesn't seem to have corrected him. And she's the kind that doesn't mind him having all these women, because she knows as long as he has all these women, he doesn't care for one woman, because him caring for one woman would essentially replace her as central to his life. She's that kind. That's what I'm getting. Not correcting him is what got him in trouble. That's why I didn't think Brooke was all wrong. His mom comes in on their conversation the next morning, after she fussed at her the night before about shutting off the phone, telling her to go to sleep, when meanwhile she was making a video about how she couldn't sleep, but his mother didn't care, and telling her to hurry up. Why is everyone always showing up early or on time at the prison? They always late. I don't watch the show enough to know they're going to be late. And standing outside the car, sit in your car and entertain yourself. Let the producers figure it out. Anyway, so we get Kiana and Demadre. Kiana. I've never watched The Wiz all the way through. I could only do it in bits and pieces. I actually find that to be one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. I do not like remixed unnecessary versions. I like hearing Michael Jackson, "You Can't Win." And when that woman, who was like the fairy, said, "Count your blessings and cut your losses," I have always remembered that line. All right. Anyway, and Kiana, you need to count your blessings and cut your losses. All right, because at this point, your losing is on you. So why are you out there with that welcome home sign? I hate when I see them with them dumbass signs. Yeah, what? Anyway, why did he ask her if she was picking up her family member when the guard called or whatever? And she was like, "I'm picking him up." Like, she didn't lie, but I was like, did he say that was his family? Like, what? Why? What is this? Explain to me why he needed that information. Okay, because we've definitely seen people on this show have to walk to a gas station to call somebody. All right. Did you see her running in those fuzzy slippers and running to him crying? A man with 6 kids by 3 different women, and she doesn't have any kids with him. First of all, I was worried about you falling flat on your face on that concrete. He should have been running to you. Anyway, he didn't run to you, and that's a problem. Her stepfather, G-Paul, I'm just going to have to say, G-Paul is very supportive. And I think that he loves her as a daughter. And I also think he feels the need to support her, because wherever her mother is, her mother's not here for the bullshit. That's why she ain't on camera. That's why she is not on camera. She is not here for it. All right? So, Demadre is ugly. Okay? That hair, I'm sure, makes him uglier. But he is ugly. Argue with the wall. I don't feel like... This ain't it. And the fact that these women are sleeping with him, I don't get it. I don't get how you could look at him. Ugh. Anyway, it was giving Flavor Flav. Okay, so what is with kissing men all in the mouth right after they're out of jail? Like, I understand it. I just worry about the hygiene of it all. That's just me. It's just me. So what is with rushing people to the halfway house right after y'all let them out? That's another thing. That to me just seems to be an injustice. Like, cars, driving, traffic, transportation. Oh, I got to be there 5 hours. They just let me out. Like, are you kidding me? I think that is so unreasonable. I think that stuff should happen within 24 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems, I don't know. It seems like some BS to me. But anyway, they start to take him back. And I guess I just felt like, suppose you don't have family or anybody to pick you up. Because if it wasn't for her, his father was sitting his ass in a lazy boy, and his sister was just chilling at the kitchen table, knowing he was going to get released soon. Suppose you don't have nobody. Anyway, so they talk about in college. In college, his major was physical therapy, And then he started hanging with people in the streets. And it said that he went to college. It did not say he graduated. And I find this problematic. Because I saw this enough. I saw it enough. That young black men in college, I saw this at Morehouse. And they would be trying to just sell weed just to be like, I don't know, in. And a lot of these people came from like upper middle class backgrounds, which is really the only reason why they graduated. It's because their parents were paying tuition and calling and were like, you know, people with connections in Atlanta in particular. You could tell there's some people I'm thinking about specifically who were able to keep paying that kind of thing. But I just felt like that is such a dumbass thing to imitate. It is just such a dumb thing to imitate. Those people want to be you. Of course, they're in the wrong space. And that's one of those things. Yeah, you have to learn when you're young. You can't roll with everybody. But I was taught that from the time I was a kid. My mother did not play that. She did not want us in that kind of trouble. But yeah, anyway, she's been taking care of him. She said while he was in school too. I said, you done been to cosmetology school, managed to have $20,000 to throw at him while he has cheated on you like 2 times with the baby mama that he's told you of, and that's probably because you caught him. You were supporting him while in school? That means he had somebody giving him money? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You've been taking care of him all this time, and he says he plans on proposing to Kiana because that's all he has to do. She's going to take care of him. You hobosexual. Anyway, girl, if he had 6 kids, 3 with the same chick, no. No, no, no. This is coming from a place of love. No, 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 no. You don't need a man that bad, I promise you. I promise you. It won't bring you nothing but heartache, pain. And in your case, it seems it's going to bring debt, unnecessary debt. So anyway, he goes to the halfway house to get his ankle monitor. It took him like 2.5 hours. And they had been waiting the whole time so they'd be there, you know. But in 2.5 hours, you and your G-Paul didn't even try to go to Wendy's or nothing. Are we boycotting Wendy's? But I just mean, you know, to get something to eat. I would have been starving. Just because I don't like, wait, I need to do something. All right, so his counselor comes out and says he's staying in the halfway house. They're holding on to him. And so Kiana is obviously upset. She's like, why? She was like, well, I can't explain. This is just a decision they made. Da, 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 da. And then she gets into the car. She's crying. She's upset. And she tells, you know, G-Paul what's going on. And then that white woman starts yelling outside the car, oh, I need his bag. Let me tell you something. That pissed me the fuck off. First of all, slow your roll. 2, whether I give his bag to you or not is not my fucking problem. I don't owe you anything legally. I'm sorry, this is inconvenience to you, but this 2.5 hours I've been waiting is an inconvenience to me. And you just came out here being the bearer of some bad fucking news. Don't play with me like that. Don't. Anyway, she's crying and upset. Did anybody see her wig line when she bit down like this? Kiana, save your money. Take care of you. You are a pretty girl. You trust me. And you can do better than this. Much better. And sometimes much better doesn't mean, oh, you can just find a man that's just going to be so great. Sometimes much better is I can live a happy, healthy life surrounded by friends, have relationships with men that may be better suited for me or whatever. Take your time. It ain't worth it. That's all I got to say. All right, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.